Hi there. Welcome to this episode of Write With Me at IELTS Juice. Today we have a report to plan, and the visual with its prompt are telling us that the charts below give information on the ages of the populations of Yemen and Italy in 2000 and projections for 2050. All right, so let's analyze a little bit the visuals. We have two countries and there are three categories. There are four visuals, four pie charts. We have time frames. We have 2000 and 2050. Now, you know me, my very first question is, what tense we need to predominantly use for our response, for our report? And you already see the list over here down below. So we have past simple, present perfect, and future. Right off the bat, present perfect has no room here because we do not have any information about the present. We don't have anything related to present. And we cannot go ahead and assume that it's been a unified transition from one year to another. This is demographic data, meaning it is about the ages of people and the population and the information related to population. So the data is usually unified and it goes from one number to another over time. We will not, for example, have a spike all of a sudden in the middle and we have a lot of 35-year-olds, for example. You cannot insert population at the age of 35 into a nation. Technically, that happens by immigration, but that's not the topic here. And more importantly, we do not have that information. So we are not going to talk anything about present because we don't know. We don't know if Yemen or Italy had immigrants. We don't know what happens. Maybe there was a war in the country and suddenly a lot of people passed away. Maybe there was drought, famine, some bad economic situation. The reason I'm telling you is that forget the information that is not here. We are not allowed to assume anything in between 2000 and 2050. We only have access to two data points. That's it. Whatever we see, we will report. Done. So this is out of the picture. This is out of the picture as well. We have nothing about present. We only have past, 2000, and future. So these two are going to be our tenses, the tenses that will predominantly cover a lot of our sentences. The way we organize them matters, however. Let me put them here for the time being, and we will get back to them later on. Now we need to start. We have our introduction, the body paragraph, and our conclusion is basically just one sentence, but in reports that is totally fine. How are we going to address this? One approach would be to just introduce another body paragraph here. And here you focus on, for example, Italy, and here you focus on Yemen. Or the other way around, doesn't matter. I just chose Italy because alphabetically I is before Y. But that really doesn't matter. This is one approach. And in this particular approach, you need to include past simple and future sentences, both for Italy and then for Yemen. Again, you include both what happened in 2000, past simple, and what will happen, future, in this country, and then you move on to the other country and you follow the same pattern. This is a risky move. We are under exam condition. Now we need to figure out what tense to use all the time. So now it's confusing. Your first sentence is going to be on for 2000. The next one is for 2050. The first sentence has to be in past simple, the next sentence in future. Then you move on to the next item. For every single one of the items here, for 0 to 14-year-olds, for 15 to 59-year-olds, for 60-plus-year-olds, you need to follow the same pattern repetitively. And that is repetitive, very, very hard to manage when you have two grammatical tenses juggling here every paragraph. This one is for Italy, finished, then you move on to Yemen. Again, you have to struggle with the same issue here. I wouldn't do that. Instead, my suggestion would be to focus on the events in 2000. So we basically focus on things that will happen here in 2000, and then the things that will happen in 2050. So things that happened in 2000, things that will happen in 2050. We can compare the two countries, and we can basically focus on different age groups, the ones, the ups and downs, and the major ones. How does this thing go? So let me first say that your very first sentence in the introduction should be to tell me what I'm looking at. There are 4 visuals, there are pie charts. 2 of them focus on the year 2000, 2 of them focus on the year 2050. 2 of them are about Italy, 2 of them are about Yemen. You need to tell me the order. If you start from Yemen and then Italy, like here, it starts from Yemen and then Italy, then this paragraph should be about Yemen and this one should be about Italy. So make sure the consistency remains that way. If you don't go with the country and you're going with my suggestion, and you're going to say in 2000 and then 2050, for Yemen and Italy, in this paragraph, everything we say is first about Yemen and then Italy. In this paragraph, we first talk about Yemen for every sentence and then Italy. The organization, this has to match. It's important to make sure that everything remains consistent. And then you need an overview. My suggestion, an overview is actually, before I give you my suggestion, the overview is the one that catches your eye. Look at the visual again. What stands out? I can already say that the 15 to 59 age group is quite large. I can come up with a sentence like that. Plus, I can see that in the other groups, like 60 plus, increased in both of them. I can see that the number of youngsters 0 to 14 in both of them declined. Similar patterns. However, 15 to 59 is completely different. So that is the only age group that these two countries differ. I might go ahead with that. Why? Because in this suggestion, I am going to compare countries inside one paragraph. And the focus of the paragraph is the year 2000. And I'm going to first talk about Yemen and compare it to Italy in 2000 here. And then move on to the other body paragraph. So when I come up with an overview for example, in this case, I said that the 15 to 15-year-olds is well, one way or another, this becomes the dominant age group in their countries. For Yemen, it will happen in 2050, and for Italy, it happened in 2000. I can come up with one overview, but usually I ask you to come up with another overview at the same time. Because the age group, the 60 plus doesn't play a major role in Yemen, and the other two play much more important roles. I can focus on 60 plus, and I can say, yeah, it's basically for Yemen, the two major groups are 15 to 59 and 0 to 14, while for Italy, again, it's a little bit different. And basically, I can say for Italy, 0 to 14 is the one that doesn't play a key role in the demographic. And the other two, 60 plus and 15 to 59, are the key elements. You can come up with another item. Even better, we can focus on two of these three elements here in the two paragraphs, and the one remaining goes here. That can happen. We can, for example, we can just focus on 0 to 14 and 15 to 59, 0 to 14 and 15 to 59 in these two body paragraphs, and give a little bit of information about 60 plus, maybe at the end of each paragraph, and write an overview for 60 plus, saying basically in Yemen, while it doesn't play, or it didn't play and will not play a key role, it will continue to play a significant role in Italy's future in 2050. Now, remember, for every body paragraph, we need to talk about the focus. The focus here is the year 2000. The focus here is the year 2050. So the topic sentence must reflect that objective. Here, we need to say that in the year 2000, let's just share something interesting here. In the year 2000, more than 50% of Yemenis people were below the age of 15, were in the 0 to 15 range age group. Whereas for Italy, the people were in where the majority, almost 2/3, were in the age of 15 to 58. And based on that, we start talking about the age groups here, more in depth, with details, with percentages, with numbers, and you compare, you come up with like it's approximately 2/3, it's almost half. You use vocabulary, language, vague language, collocations here. And you don't need to worry because every single sentence is in the past simple tense. And this one will focus on 2050. And you can again start by saying, for this category, 15 to 58 will play a crucial role in Yemen. Whereas for Italy, it is split between 60 plus and 15 to 59. And you basically talk about this. Everything will be in the future tense. And now you can compare things better. You can support you can say why there is a split. No age group has the dominant power. It's the only, for Italy in 2050 is the only kind of balanced one, because you don't have that 50% favor towards a certain age group. That's kind of interesting. And it will be revealed when you have this type of arrangement and organization. So I hope you give this report a try. If you wish to see an assessed and improved version of the same report, click over here. If you wish to see other reports or maybe essays planned like this, click over here. And remember, eat healthy.